Ciao, my name's Alan. Welcome to my channel. First, before we get into the book, Karenina, let me just shout out to, I'm a big fan of the Ducks, living in Portland, and it was a great, now then, the book. This, I've been wanting to read Anna Karenina for probably like a decade, and it was, like a bucket list book. So when the opportunity for the read-along came up, I jumped on it, and this is a Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. And the thing about Anna Karenina, the novel, there's several translations of it. This one is the latest. It was from the Oprah Book Club. She brought popularity to reading or rereading this book. I want to say, 5 stars for me, right? I never do the ratings like that for a classic book, please. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. And to say, this is off the cuff, unscripted. You can say many things about this book, and many things have been said about the book. But to say it's a Russian soap opera of the aristocrats, the ones in power, the princes and princesses and aristocracy. You learn a lot about Russian philosophy and politics and agriculture, and but it's a big soap opera, really. And the names are one of the hardest things for me. It probably took me over 100 pages to get into the swing of the names alone, because there's surnames and first names, and I'll refer you to links below to Una and Crypto at the CodeX Cantina, and Christie at Dostoevsky in Space, and others. I want to shout out Una and Raz, who has read the novel before. On Voxer, they helped me a lot, just on Voxer privately, regarding this book. Because it took me over 100 pages to get even used to the names. And you know how, if you read, if you're like me, and you read, say, a fantasy novel with weird names, or science fiction novel, you get used to the names, or a pinch-on novel, and maybe you don't say them correctly. Like, maybe you don't say Vronsky. Maybe you say Vransky, or like that. We have just so many names. Like Karenina, sometimes it's called Corinne, and there are different counts and different military ratings, and the order of royalty, things like that. But you get used to the names. That's one of the hurdles for me. Now, I also listened to this book from Audible. And Audible, you can get this for free, audio. But this particular PV translation, PV meaning, I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly. Previer and Voloskovsky, but everyone says PD, is only available from Audible. So I listened to it at work, and then I'd come back and reread it. It took me 2 months to read this. I just want to read from the book, the text itself, briefly, some things. And I haven't done any spoilers yet. This is off the cuff again. There's a, and I didn't use any secondary sources. Like, I didn't use any secondary sources while reading this, which is unusual for me. Because I use secondary sources with Joyce and Faulkner and Pynchon, and like when I say secondary sources, I mean Pynchon has wikis, and they have like if Gravity's Rainbow or Against the Day, they have already online read-throughs of it. So I would read the text first and then check out the thing and that. And I annotate books a lot too. This one, no markings at all for me. I got some dog-eared pages. But I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there's a suicide in this. And it's one of the best descriptions of an actual event of a suicide that I've ever read in my life. And not only that, but what leads up to it, and this person, how it just, one of the amazing points of the novel. I'm already looking forward to rereading this next year. Now, I want to briefly read from the text, and if I can find it fast. Let's see. Sad. There's so much in this novel. Again, from philosophy and religion to women's rights. Okay, now I'd like to read to you from the novel, starting at part 4, that's page 353. The Karenina, that's right, it's the Karenins, husband and wife, went on living in the same house, met every day, but were completely estranged from each other. Alexei Andropovich made it a rule to see his wife every day, so as to give the servants no grounds for conjecture. But he avoided dining at home. Vronsky never visited Alexei Andropovich's house, but Anna saw him elsewhere, and her husband knew it. Just an example of all the names. You know, Alexei Alexandrovich goes by different names. That's Anna's husband, who Anna is having an affair and has a child with Vronsky, who's what is he in the military? A count, I think. So Vronsky goes by, goes by 3 names as well. Carrying on. This has like 8 parts in it, and many Roman numeral chapters in the parts, but there's only one chapter with a subtitle, and that's chapter 10, and it's death. I forgot to mention how death is going around a lot in this novel. And just military and so many interesting things. But to sum up, I think Tolstoy finally sums up with the character Levin, who, besides going by 4 other names, Nikolai being one, they say, from what I've read in the secondary sources that I have not consulted, that Levin is Tolstoy encapsulated. But Levin has several epiphanies, as do other characters in this, believe me. But I could read this, and we're getting towards the end of the novel. But to sum up, you finally get to sum up after all this. In summation, Levin's epiphany. And this is from working with the Musaks, the poverty-stricken Moscow and elsewhere. And it now seemed to him that there was not a single belief of the church that violated the main thing: faith in God, in the good, as the sole purpose of man. A lot of Christianity in here too. So I've rambled on long enough. I love this book. Already planned the reread, and already got the doorstopper War and Peace. And shout out to Hannah Joyner at Hannah's Books. Just one Hannah, not Hannah's Books, just Hannah's Books. Link below. She's hinted at doing this starting next February. So, again, that's Hannah Reads. That's Hannah's Books. Go subscribe and send her an email about War and Peace. We want to read that. I'm Alan. I hope you enjoyed this. This ramble. I want to thank you for staying tuned. And until next time, what's coming up? What's coming up is I'm going to do a tag video that I've got like 3 to catch up on. And also the Beatles Get Back, Peter Jackson's. I watched that over the weekend. I'm going to watch it twice. And I've made notes, and that's going to come up next week. I'm going to just do one video on that. So, hey, thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Ciao.